Today was No King's Day, the unofficial national holiday where Americans came together to remind Donald Trump that he is a president and not a dictator. People rallied in tremendous numbers, like the world has never seen before, believe me, to tell the emperor with no clothes, no compassion, and no desire to stop the chaos, enough is enough. But in what just might be the most under-the-radar No King's Day story of the day, a one-of-a-kind public humiliation of Donald Trump took place within his own kingdom of Mar-a-Lago, and I have all the satisfying details for you next. By all accounts, No King's Day was a massive success. From coast to coast, we saw things like crowded streets in New York City, this incredible human display in San Francisco, and another crowded street scene in Los Angeles. But the enthusiasm to give Trump a collective middle finger wasn't limited to the major cities. Many also answered the call in hundreds of smaller cities, and I was in the heartland today to capture the energy and emotion. Take a look at my report from Youngstown, Ohio, and then stick around for the hilarious scene at Mar-a-Lago that was anything but befitting of a king.
For Youngstown, Ohio, No King's Day event. Michael, why is this day important?
Sir, it's important because we are coming out here because we love our country, we love democracy, and we don't need some paper tiger parade down to D.C. with some dean's birthday to celebrate that. And that's why the people are out here today.
I'm here with Mary. Mary, what does this day mean to you?
Well, it gives us an opportunity to come out and let Congress as well as the president know that things are like going well and we're worried about our Constitution.
Everybody deserves to be heard.
And you brought this out today. What is the story here?
The story is I wanted to differentiate it to show the honor, the families, and the dishonor.
And we are proudly protesting a person who has no right to be president of the United States and who is a dishonorable man who never deserved this country. I served in Operation Desert Storm, and when I did, we walked about phone stirs, but I served and I continue to serve.
Because time and time at our events, what we hear is people say, I thought I was the only one. And one of the things authoritarians do is destroy sense of community, destroy civil life. And we're here to remind people, no, you are not alone. And we stand with you. Whether you stand with us or not, you stand for every American.
I'm concerned about how we're treating immigrants, the cruelty to people. I'm very concerned about cuts to the basic needs programs, SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. I've worked with people who are poor for probably 25 years and know how important those programs are, and I'm just devastated that people are going to be left in the lurch.
With the vibe in Youngstown established, let's head about 1,100 miles due south and see what the vibe was like at Mar-a-Lago. Now, I didn't see any counter-protesters in Youngstown, but we can count on MAGA circling the wagons at Mar-a-Lago, right? Wrong. The headline that caught my eye was from Raw Story, and it comically read, "Surprised I'm the only one here. MAGA fans outnumbered at Mar-a-Lago protest," and it went on to say, "A No King's March in front of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort resulted in a mass of protesters at odds with the president and just a handful of MAGA counter-protesters." According to a report from the Washington Post, there was a huge turnout in West Palm Beach for the nationwide No Kings mobilization against the president, with over 2,000 marches planned across the country. Despite weeks of notice, supporters of the president were no-shows outside the resort that Trump and his family call home. Speaking with the Post's Lori Roxa, Gabriel Renfro expressed dismay at the lack of pro-Trump counter-protesters. "I'm kind of surprised that I'm the only one here. I came because I love President Trump and I want to show support," he stated while admitting he drove 80 miles to support the president. He graciously added, "This all seems peaceful. They're allowed to say what they want as long as it stays peaceful. That's what America is about." I have two thoughts about what he just said. One, I'm surprised too that the MAGA base decided to sit this one out. But then again, I'm not. They can see the outrage is growing and they know they would be outnumbered. And what are they going to do? Chant more cruelty, more cruelty, more cruelty. They have a communication dilemma. And second, he said, "This all seems so peaceful." Of course it does, because the National Guard and the Marines are not lurking as tools of intimidation to shift the mood on the ground. And speaking of peaceful, let's return to Youngstown, Ohio for final thoughts on this historic No King's Message Day to Donald Trump.
I worry about what this country is going to be when these youngsters get up. When they're that old, and it's very frightening to be right now what's happening, and soldiers in Los Angeles and threats of we'll do what we need to do and when they aren't necessary. It's just not following the Constitution.
For look, in the end, it all comes down to Fallow Fox, right? He could only do so much by showing up here, but it's all about bringing attention. Look, I was an Air Force officer. I have a military background. For me, the way I look at what's happening in our country today, we are in the middle of information war. People are confused. People are confused. They are being lied to, and they're falling for it. And the more they get out here and say, actually, you should look that up. Actually, we're standing here for the rights of every American. That's how we get people to actually take responsibility for their own learning.
Let's assume that Donald Trump is going to watch this tomorrow. Look there, and what message would you have for him?
I don't know how you secretly. I don't know how you. And you really are an abomination as a human being, not even withstanding thinking of how you disrespect women.